Hey synthheads, today we're going to talk about staying motivated musically. Hi, I'm Pure Ambient Drone, and this is my channel where I talk about synthesizers, I demo them, I review them, and I make electronica music. So if you haven't hit that subscribe button yet, please do so now, and tap that bell so that you can keep up with all of my synth adventures. And now, to the video. Hey, welcome back. Today we're going to be talking about staying motivated musically. First of all, I want to talk about other people's music. When it comes to being inspired about your own tracks, about your own music, even about your own style, it is a very good idea to be listening to other people's music. And there are two ways to listen to other people's music. Number one way is to just relax and enjoy what you're listening to. But may I suggest that you don't just pick the music that's in your genre of style that you actually make. That will get some of that cobweb out of your brain and get the creative juices flowing. So think a little bit out of the box when you're listening to music. Maybe you want to listen to some country or pop or heavy metal, rock and roll, whatever it may be that you enjoy listening to, that is what you should do. And I'm not talking about just one track here and there. I'm talking about filling your brain to get that creative juice flowing with maybe a whole album from one artist. Now, the other way that you can listen to music and be productive for yourself is to study what the person is doing. Listen intently to how they're using the instrument and how they're arranging things. Those are the two ways to listen to music, and doing this often, doing this every single day even, can keep you motivated. So number two would be humble yourself. Don't come into the studio thinking that you are the greatest musician in the world, that you are the greatest artiste in the world. Don't come into the studio with that attitude. Now, I am saying that you should have self-confidence, because not having self-confidence can also be a problem. Know where you are and know where you could grow at. Okay, so maybe you're a proficient player on the keys. Maybe you can hit those keys and you never miss a mark. But maybe you're not so great at arranging. Maybe you're good at it all. I can promise you this, no matter how good you are, you're not perfect. And you shouldn't strive to be perfect, because you're never going to reach it. You should strive to grow. You should strive to be more creative. You should strive to always be learning. And number three is to surround yourself around people who can teach you something. Oh, but wait a minute. Also surround yourself around people that you can teach. There are two great ways to learn your craft and to stay motivated. Number one is to learn from somebody who is more advanced than you are in an area you're trying to grow in. And number two is to be able to teach somebody that is less experienced in the fields that you have crafted and that you have perfected. Teaching people can teach you a lot of things. Tip number four, take a break. I mean, come on. It is great to be in the studio and playing on this equipment, but when you find yourself bogged down with what am I going to play? How am I going to play it? What instrument am I going to take? It's time to just forget it all, walk away from it, and go enjoy yourself. Just relax and try not to make it happen. Just let it flow from you. Get into the mood before the mood gets to you, if you know what I mean. My next tip may surprise you, so please have an open mind when I'm saying this to you. I like to have choices. If you don't like to have choices, if you like to be limited to what you have to pick from, if that helps you, slim down in your studio. I would simply suggest selecting a few synthesizers that you're happy with and start working with them. Chances are, as time goes by, you're going to want a greater, larger palette that you can work from. So I wouldn't suggest to anybody that you actually get rid of gear if you already have it. And I wouldn't suggest to anybody that if you don't have all the gear that you want, that you immediately go out and buy it before you explore the gear you already have. Okay, so the next tip is Go on long nature walks, or short ones if you like. But get out into nature and take in some fresh air and just kind of just relax yourself a little bit and look around you at the beauty that surrounds your world. I often find that walking clears my head and it makes me kind of anxious to get back to work. That works for me. I've heard that it works for a lot of other people too. Now here's my last tip, and before I get to it, I want to remind you that you can go to my website, pureambientdrone.com, and you can find all of my finished music tracks and connect with me on social media. So now my number one tip that I think will help you the most, and that is hang around other musicians of any type that you choose. Doesn't matter if they're into country music, doesn't matter if they're into rock and roll, just be best friends with the people that are in the same craft that you are in. Okay, so I have one more bonus tip for you. Go into the studio and have fun. Hit the record button on your DAW or whatever system that you're using to record with, and just start having fun and don't try to plan anything out. Record everything you do, have fun while you're doing it, go back and listen to your ideas. You may go back one day into your recordings and find that one inspiration that you were looking for, and you'll be thanking your lucky stars that you recorded it. I'm Pure Ambient Drone, and I want to thank you for joining me here again today. And if you haven't done so, please hit that subscribe button. It encourages me to continue with these videos. Until next time, cheers.